When I eventually got the scum out that was not paying any rent in my place, I found a silver washing machine in the kitchen. Well, that surprised me because I don't do silver appliances. I do white ones. So my white washing machine is no longer to be seen, and I've got this thing here, which obviously isn't silver because we're looking at the inside of it. Well, anyway, let's get on with it. When I put some overalls in there to test them out, it went on to spin, and oh my god, fingers in your ears time. Yeah, the bearing's gone. So, if you're like me and you think, well, I ain't paying for a new one when I can get some bearing kits and just repair it, you're going to try and repair it. Well, next thing you ought to do is go on to YouTube and find a YouTube video or three and see how other people have done it, which is what I did. And they've made it look very easy, and they've glossed over a lot of the nitty-gritty. So, I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty. Right, so, you've been on eBay, you found your bearing repair kit, which is 2 bearings and a seal, and it only costs about £12. So you're like, right, let's get on with it. But then you find out that your drum is actually glued together. A sealed unit cannot be stripped. So that's when you get into YouTube and you find people that have stripped them. Well, I've seen a couple of videos. I mean, all fair play to them. But like I said, they've glossed over the tricky bits. So, tricky bits, here we go. First off, you try going in there with a Sawzall. You can't get it 90 degrees onto the drum because this stainless steel drum is just a few millimeters inside, maybe a centimeter if that. So you got to go in at an angle. If you go in at an angle, you're going to get a wonky cut. So I went in there with a 4-inch grinder and a 1mm disc. Now, the problem with a 4-inch grinder and a 1mm disc on plastic is it tends to spin so fast it melts it up as it goes along. If you get any of that melting metal on your finger, melting plastic on your fingers, you'll know all about that. But with about 20 minutes of cutting, you can get the bad boy off. Although, like I said in the video, they don't tell you about that inner chamber there. Look, see that one? Yeah, well, you ain't going to get no 4-inch grinder to penetrate into there, so you've got to go in there with a hacksaw blade by hand and just wiggle, 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 wiggle for another 40 minutes till you cut it off. Now, if you're quite adept at cutting shit up, like what I is, you'll get not too bad a finish on it, but it will be absolute crap. I mean, you'll have all this melted plastic and everything that's all going to be stuck to it everywhere, yeah. But then you've got to get a block of wood and some sandpaper, and you've got to dress all that off. So I've dressed all that off as best I can, and the same on the outside here. Then you've got the party piece of knocking the bearings out of the drum. Now, I have worked on some things in my time. I started off my career over 50 odd years ago on Scammell Crusaders and AECs and 2-stroke Fodens. So I have beat some crap in my time, but like trying to get those bearings out is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. They were very not nice. In fact, we do have some blood there. And once you've done that, you're then faced with the drum and the spider. Now that you can't really see the depth of that, but that's at least nearly an inch thick there. That's aluminium corrosion. Now, when you wonder why your machine smells like a dead dog, a lot of it is the bacteria, which is all stored up in that aluminium spider there. Look, I've given that a good scraping, would you believe? You couldn't even recognise what that was before. But that's where the bearings sit in there, look. See all that horrible black crap? Yeah, well, we got to clean all that lot up. Now I've got to get bearing kit. And then, what they do is they say to you, some of them, drill a ring of holes around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. Drill a ring of holes. Well, you can't get your drill straight on unless you've got like a foot-long bit. Your drill won't go straight on. It'll go in at an angle, so you're not going to get a very good cut. So, really, what you need to do is drill your outer casing from the top side once he's split. Drill all your holes in. And then drop him on there, and then get some of those metal screws that have got a little drill bit on them for like roofing and thin tin. Get some of those, and you'll have to put those in when you're assembling it. You'll have to put those in on a long drill bit, a long screwdriver bit. I'm getting really confused this morning. That's got to be my age. Yeah, it's a long screwdriver bit to clear the top edge of the drum and just screw it all back together. And they said they use Gorilla Glue, so I'm going to give that a go because it is a polyurethane. Yeah, I get mixed up with all these plastics even though I work with them. Polyurethane glue, which is like a windscreen type glue, so it's waterproof. But it's £10 a tube, so there you're looking at £12 for your bearing, £10 for your glue. You're going to want a bit of sandpaper as well, so let's say about £25. And then you got all your time. Now I have got a lot of time. Well, I haven't. I'm getting close to dying, but I have got a lot of free time until that point. So that doesn't really worry me. But if you want to spend like 2 or 3 days work doing all that, when you can just go on Facebook Marketplace and buy a second-hand machine for 60 quid, you got to weigh up your options. Would I do this again? Hell no. Right, let's go find something more exciting to do. Oh yeah, that's coming up soon. Dung beetle.